there, welcome back to my channel, the best place for writers, editors and storytellers. In last week's video, we discussed the foundations of character building. You can watch that video right here if you haven't already. In today's video, we are going to be talking about how you can create natural, realistic character voice, which is going to bring your characters to life and make your reader go, wow, I'm listening to this person. Let's go. Prompt 1. Write a letter from the character to the author. No surprise for guessing that the character is the person who you're writing about and the author is you. This is so fun, so creative, and it takes your imagination power to the next level, and most importantly, it brings your character to the real world. Not exactly, but kind of virtually, and you're able to listen to them telling you their story. You can use this exercise in a stream of consciousness mode where you just have some idea about this character and then you start typing in their voice. That is one way of doing it, but the way I like to do this exercise is to first finish my character building from the previous video, which are all the basics that I covered there. The weakness, fear, desire, backstory, everything that I talked about in last week's video that you can watch up here. All of those things, I like to have them ready in front of me on a piece of paper, and then I like to close my eyes and focus on all of those things in my mind. The backstory of this person, the weakness of this person, his desire, whatever he wants, everything that makes up his fear, his comfort zone, all of those things. I focus into that and I imagine, what if I am this person? What if this person is me? So I try to get into the headspace of this character that I have on the page. And that is when I open my eyes and I start typing and I put out their story from their perspective to the author. The reason I like to do it in the form of a letter is because I'm able to gauge how this person would be narrating their own story to an author who would be writing about them. So whenever I share this hack with people, I always get this question, hey, what if I'm writing a first person story and I might just narrate the story? Why do I need to write to the author? Well, the reason being, when this character is writing to the author, they are consciously thinking about how they would put the words onto the paper. It's not the author putting the words on the paper, but it's that character. Kind of complicated when I'm talking about it right now, but just follow the method that I explained and you will see the magic. Prompt 2. Establish the secrets of your character. Every person in this world has secrets, and so does your character. I'm not talking about the big secrets or something related to the plot. I'm not talking about something like this character being a CBI agent. That's not what I'm talking about. It doesn't have to be related to their plot. It has to be related to their personality, their backstory, and the foundations. For example, when I was an 8-year-old girl, I had this inhibition in my mind that nobody at my school should find out about the nickname I have at home. Today, I'm super proud of my name. My nickname is Munmun. My parents still call me that. But back then, 8-year-old me was kind of embarrassed or kind of worried that people would laugh at me. So that was an integral part of my personality. I always kept it hidden from people around me. It is a very small thing, but it actually adds up to how I felt about myself. So when your character has the secret that they do not want to share with anybody, it could be any small thing which you don't even put in the story, but once you figure it out as the author, you're able to see how this person, this character, speaks to themselves about the secret, and that's how you can get into their head and see how they would feel about something. Prompt 3. Assign specific phrases to each character that other characters don't normally use. Yes, I know you've probably heard that 100 times before, perhaps 1,000,000 times, because it's the most common advice when it comes to character voice. But no matter what I say, it definitely works. And it's also the easiest way possible to create a distinction in dialogue. For example, if I were to give you a cookie for every time Ronald Weasley said bloody hell in Harry Potter series, then I bet you'd have a mountain of cookies. But here are some precautions for you to keep in mind while you're using this hack. Number 1, don't overuse it. Most newbie writers tend to go overboard with using these phrases assigned to each character on every page. This is a solid way to annoy readers. One easy solution for this would be to narrow down your phrases. for each character, and I would say each main character, have this specific phrase for a specific situation. So have a phrase for each emotion. If they're feeling frightened, they would say something. If they are feeling worried, they would say something else. If they're happy, they would say something else. If they're sad, they'll say something else. So have these variations for each character, but make sure you're not overdoing this, because solid way of annoying readers, trust me. Second precaution for this hack is only to use it in dialogue and not in narration. Narration is supposed to be your pretty prose, not necessarily pretty, but kind of your prose which is tight and proper, whereas dialogue is specific to the character. So make sure that this specific phrase is only being used in the dialogue when the character actually speaks and not just thinks. Prompt 4. Figure out the coping mechanism for your character. I understood this strategy when I was listening to this amazing podcast by Mel Robbins. She doesn't talk about writing, but that's how I got the idea for this one. All you have to do is figure out, is your character an underachiever or an overachiever when they're anxious? Now, those are two ways of dealing with anxiety, which she describes in the video. But what you can do for your character is to figure out their coping mechanism for any strong negative emotion. It could be anxiety, depression, stress, or anything which is not going their own way. How would they react to it? What's your character's preferred way of dealing with negative things in their life? Once you figure out the coping mechanism, you will be able to write the character interiority with such conviction that your reader will actually see this person in front of them and will be able to relate to them. You won't understand what I'm talking about, but maybe just take a piece of paper and write down how this character would react if so-and-so goes wrong in their life. It doesn't have to be related to the plot. It doesn't have to be, and it doesn't need to go into the book. All of these exercises that I've talked in this video do not need to go in the book or your story. They are for you, so you can have the character voice in your head before or while you start writing your story. Alright, if you like this video, then make sure to give me a like button and consider subscribing, because on this channel we talk all about writing, editing and publishing everything that a writer requires in just one place. Next week, we have the third video in the character building series coming up, but until then, make sure to watch these two videos on screen. I promise they won't disappoint. Alright, that is me, Srishti Rathore, signing up for this video. See you next week. Bye bye!